My mother died knowing her daughter-in-law was carrying another man's child. The morning she passed, I'd been trying to reach Emma for hours. The MY calls went straight to voicemail. The MY text stayed unread. When I finally got through, all I heard were moans and heavy breathing before the line went dead. 3 days later, I buried my mother alone. And on the day of her funeral, my wife's wedding procession crashed into ours. Chapter 1. My mother's last wish was simple: take me back to Kansas, bury me next to your father. She'd spent her final years in Chicago with us, but her heart never left that small cemetery in Topeka where Dad had been laid to rest 20 years ago. It was the least I could do, drive her ashes home. The funeral was small, just me, my Uncle Pete, Uncle Jerry, and a few cousins that I wore the only black suit I owned, the one from my wedding 5 years ago. The irony wasn't lost on me. Then Emma's parents showed up. "Oh, David." Richard rushed forward, his face a mask of grief. "I can't believe she's gone. She never even got to see grandchildren." Behind him, Victoria stood in a bright red dress, her lips perfectly painted, not a hair out of place, that she'd never hidden her contempt for my family. We were small-town people who trapped her precious daughter in a dead-end life. "Where's Emma?" Richard looked around the small funeral home. "We've been here 30 minutes and haven't seen her." I knew exactly where Emma was. Ryan had posted it all over Instagram. "Finally married the woman of my dreams, and yes, she's carrying my baby." The photo showed my wife in a wedding dress, her head on his shoulder, their lips locked in a passionate kiss. "She's traveling." I lied. "After Mom died, after everything that happened, divorce papers were already drafted that I just needed to get through today." My Aunt Linda never one to mince words, snorted. "Traveling? Her mother-in-law just died and she's on vacation? How dare you?" Victoria stepped forward, her voice sharp. "Don't you dare judge my daughter. She's probably devastated, too grief-stricken to even show her face." She whipped out her phone. "I'll prove it to you." Chapter 2. Victoria hit speaker. We all heard Emma's voice, bright and cheerful. "Mom, what's wrong?" "Emma, darling, where are you? David's family is saying terrible things." "Oh Mom, don't listen to them. I'm not on vacation. I'm at a work conference in Seattle, big promotion opportunity that I wanted to surprise David with, the extra income that we've been struggling, you know." The lies flowed so easily that if I hadn't seen the wedding photos myself, I might have believed her. "See?" Victoria turned to me, triumph in her eyes. "Your wife is working hard while you stand here making accusations." She slapped me hard. "You pathetic excuse for no wonder she has to work conferences on weekends. Someone has to pay the bills." My hands clenched into fists, but I held back. "Not here, not at Mom's funeral." I grabbed the phone. "Emma." Click. She'd hung up. "That's what I thought," Victoria sneered. "Can't even face your own wife. I'm telling her to file for divorce the moment she gets back." "Good," I said quietly. "Save me the trouble." Richard stepped between us. "Enough. We have a funeral to conduct." Chapter 3. We loaded Mom's casket into the hearse. The funeral director had suggested a traditional procession through town. Mom would have liked that. One last tour of the streets she'd walked for 40 years. I carried her photo, the one from her 60th birthday. She looked so happy then, before the cancer, before Emma's betrayal, before everything fell apart. The procession moved slowly down Main Street. The hearse led, followed by our small group of mourners. Victoria hung back, refusing to walk too close to the casket, as if death was contagious. Then I saw them. A line of cars decorated with white ribbons and "Just Married" signs, coming straight toward us on the narrow road. The lead car, a white Mercedes, stopped just feet from our hearse. Someone would have to reverse. But hearses don't go backward, and wedding cars shouldn't have to face death on their happy day. I walked to the Mercedes, bent slightly in respect. "Congratulations to the happy couple. I'm so sorry, but we're conducting a funeral. Could you possibly pull into that side street for just a moment? We'll pass quickly." The driver nodded, already shifting into reverse. Then the back door opened. "No." Ryan stepped out, designer suit pristine, cologne overwhelming even from feet away. "Nobody moves my wedding car, not today." He saw me and stopped short, his eyes flicked to the photo in my hands, me mother's photo. Well, David Chen." He lit a cigarette, blew smoke in my face. "So the old lady finally kicked it, huh?" Chapter 4. Where's Emma? My voice came out steadier than I felt. Ryan laughed, unbuttoning his collar to reveal a neck covered in hickeys. "Where do you think? In the car, wearing white, about to become Mrs. Ryan Mitchell. Well, technically she already is. We did the courthouse thing yesterday." The world tilted. Married, they were already married. "She was incredible last night," he continued, grinning. "Said I made her feel like a real woman for the first time. Guess 5 years with you left her unsatisfied." He knocked the photo from my hands. Mom's picture hit the asphalt, the frame cracking. "Oops." He ground his heel on it. "Clumsy me." That's when I snapped. The first punch caught him in the jaw, the second in the stomach. That I had him on the ground when his groomsmen poured out of their cars, 6 of them, all built like linebackers. They pulled me off, held me down. Uncle Pete and Jerry tried to help but were quickly overwhelmed. Richard tried to intervene and got knocked into Mom's casket for his trouble. "Get him up." Ryan wiped blood from his lip. "Hold him right there." He spread his legs wide. "You want your dead mommy to pass? Crawl through, right here, between my legs, like the dog you are." A car door slammed. What the hell is going on? Emma stood there in her wedding dress, a vision in white, looking at the chaos with wide eyes. Chapter 5. Ryan rushed to cover her eyes. "Don't look, baby, dead body, bad luck for brides." But Emma pushed his hands away. She saw the overturned casket, the beaten men, the violence on what should have been her perfect day. "We should let them pass," she said quietly. "It's a funeral, show some respect." She didn't recognize me, beaten and bloodied on the ground. Didn't notice her own father crawling toward her car, trying to call her name through broken teeth. Didn't see her mother frozen in shock at the back of the funeral procession. They disrespected us first, Ryan lied smoothly. Said we were cursed, that our marriage was doomed. Emma's face hardened. How dare they, on our wedding day? That's my girl. Ryan guided her back to the car. Driver, go around, drive over the sidewalk if you have to. As their procession passed, I saw Emma through the window. She was kissing Ryan, laughing at something he whispered, her hand on her still flat stomach. The hand that wore my ring just days ago, the stomach that carried another man's child while my mother lay dying, the laugh that once filled our home with joy. Behind us, Victoria finally found her voice. Richard, what happened? Was that Emma? Uncle Pete spat blood. Your daughter just drove over her mother-in-law's funeral to get to her wedding. Victoria's face went white. For once, she had no sharp words, no defense for her precious daughter. We gathered Mom's ashes from the overturned casket, what we could salvage. Her photo was ruined, ground into the asphalt by designer shoes. The procession that should have been dignified, respectful, had become a street brawl. But we still had 12 miles to go to reach the cemetery, and I'd be damned if my mother wouldn't get there even if I had to carry her myself. The divorce papers in my jacket pocket were crumpled now, stained with blood, but they were still valid. Emma had made her choice. That she'd chosen her wedding over my mother's funeral, chosen Ryan's baby over our marriage, chosen a lie over 5 years of truth. Now it was my turn to choose. And I chose to let her go. When my wife's wedding crashed into my mother's funeral, Part 2. Chapter 6. After they left, Richard crawled to me, tears streaming down his face. I'm so sorry, David, that I had no idea Emma would lie to us, marry someone else while still married to you. Victoria still defended her. Don't be so harsh on Emma, maybe she had her reasons. I'll talk to her when she gets back. This is all David's fault anyway. He couldn't even keep his own wife. The moment those words left her mouth, Aunt Linda slapped her across the face. You failed to raise your daughter right, and now you blame others? Linda's voice shook with fury. Whatever her reasons, she married another man while still married. Let him desecrate her mother-in-law's casket. That's pure evil. We may be country folk without fancy degrees, but we understand basic human decency. You claim to be high class, but you don't even qualify as human. Victoria's face flushed red as Linda continued berating her. When she tried to fight back, Richard slapped her other cheek. Enough, haven't we embarrassed ourselves enough? His voice cracked. We've already failed the Chen family. This is what happens when you spoil her rotten. Stop making it worse. The moment he finished speaking, Richard collapsed. Victoria frantically called 911. I dragged my broken body to Mom's overturned casket, fighting back tears. I carefully gathered her ashes with trembling hands. Whispers filled the air, relatives condemning Emma for wearing white to another man's wedding instead of mourning black, for bringing that man to desecrate her mother-in-law's final journey. Victoria nearly fainted hearing their words. The woman who'd been so aggressive before Mom's funeral now stood silent, defeated. I reorganized the pallbearers and continued with the burial. That we still had a job to finish. After laying Mom to rest, I immediately called my lawyer friend. Draft the divorce papers. That I want them ready the moment I get back to Chicago. Chapter 7. Sitting in my empty living room, memories flooded back. 7 years, Emma and I had been together 7 years. She'd always been afraid of pain, afraid pregnancy would ruin her. Figured I'd accepted that, told her we didn't need children if she didn't want them. Just last month, she'd cried watching a TV drama where the female lead betrayed her husband for another man. I hate her, she'd sobbed into my chest. I would never betray you like that. The irony burned like acid. She wasn't afraid of pain after all, she just hadn't loved me enough, but apparently, she loved Ryan Mitchell enough to carry his child. The cruel truth shattered my last illusions. After 7 years, what we'd called love was just habit. The woman beside me in bed had become a stranger. My phone buzzed. Emma. Honey, everything's wrapped up perfectly. I'm heading home now. Make sure the house is clean for me. Love, your wife. The next second, another message came through, from Ryan, photos. Emma in lingerie, straddling his lap. The implications were clear. Staring at his smug face, a thought struck me. Was his mother's cancer even real? I called a friend, slipped him some cash to investigate. When darkness fell and hunger finally registered, I heard keys in the lock. Emma was home. Chapter 8. The lights flicked on, making me squint. She froze, seeing me on the couch in the dark. David, why are you sitting in the dark? You scared me. She kicked off her heels, wrinkling her nose at the dust. Did you not clean? I specifically asked you to have the house ready. Clean the house for her return? The audacity. I opened my swollen eyes, staring at her coldly as she continued complaining. When she got close enough to see my face clearly, her tirade stopped. David, your eyes. Have you been crying? Is this about helping Ryan? Really? I told you it's just pretend. We're not getting certificates or sleeping together, just letting his dying mother see him married. Stop being such a jealous baby. As her arms reached for me, I shoved her away with all the disgust I felt. She tumbled onto the couch, shock replacing her confidence that in 7 years of marriage, I'd never raised my voice, let alone pushed her. David, what's wrong with you? She clutched her stomach dramatically. I'm pregnant. What if you caused a miscarriage, Ryan? And his mother would be devastated. Those words ignited my rage. So you'll destroy our lives to make them happy. If you love having his baby so much, why come back, go, stay with Ryan and make up for all that lost time? I threw the divorce papers at her face. Emma Chen, we're done. Sign these. That we'll go our separate ways and never speak again. She stared at the papers, then at my furious face, guilt flickering in her eyes. Thinking I was just throwing a tantrum, she stood and approached me like she was soothing a child. Okay, don't be angry that I didn't sleep with Ryan. It's IVF, that's all that I know. I messed up, honey. Didn't sleep with him, those intimate photos Ryan sent could destroy her in court. When she saw I wouldn't budge, she started unbuttoning her blouse, her old trick of using sex to calm me down. The sight made me physically ill that I slapped her hand away. Sign the papers and get out, that I never want to see you again. Where you go is no longer my concern. Chapter 9. Emma's facade finally cracked. David Chen, that's enough, don't push me too far or you'll regret it. Regret? I laughed bitterly. You want to know what I regret? I backed her against the wall. Not divorcing you sooner, before you got pregnant with another man's child, before you destroyed my mother. Mom's last words echoed, David, why is your wife having another man's baby? Why is she marrying him? I'd had no answer except tears. Emma's face softened at the mention of Mom. Is she angry too? Where is she? Let me apologize. After the baby's born, I'll cut ties with Ryan. I'll give you children too. My bitter laugh filled the room. No need, the Chen family doesn't need your offspring. As for my mother, none of your business anymore, just sign the papers. Her mask slipped completely. You and your mother have no compassion, how can you be so cruel to a dying woman? It's just acting. Even now, she didn't understand her betrayal. I pulled out my phone, showing her Ryan's photos. Acting, Emma, does acting require getting naked, rolling around in his bed? Her face went white seeing the intimate photos, her straddling him, his hands everywhere, both clearly naked. I can explain. Your wedding procession crashed into a funeral, didn't it? She nodded mutely, panic replacing arrogance. That was my mother's funeral, Emma. She died when she found out about your pregnancy and wedding, died of shock and heartbreak. She couldn't accept her daughter-in-law's betrayal. I grabbed her shoulders, my voice breaking. You let Ryan kick over her casket, that my mother's casket. Emma, are you satisfied now? Chapter 10. You're lying. Emma's voice cracked. Using your mom to guilt me into an abortion. She found her confidence again. How childish, David. Her phone rang, Ryan. What? Your mom's in the city and collapsed. I'm coming right now. She glared at me. We'll discuss this when I get back. Grow up, David. Don't make me lose what little respect I have left for you. As she reached the door, planning to leave just like that, no explanation for the photos, no acknowledgement of my pain. Richard's hand connected with her face. Dad, why did you hit me? Did David tell you something? Emma glared at me accusingly before Richard slapped her other cheek. You dare blame David? You've destroyed our family's reputation. Victoria rushed in, hair disheveled from chasing Richard. Seeing Emma on the floor, she moved to help, but Richard's roar stopped her. Don't. Help her and you can leave with her. Mom, what's happening? Why is Dad hitting me? You did nothing wrong. Richard's voice dripped venom. You killed David's mother with your betrayal, then at her funeral, you showed up in a wedding dress with your lover. That animal beat David, beat me, kicked over your mother-in-law's casket. You're both going to hell. As Richard's coughing fit started, Emma began shaking, tears finally flowing. How? I didn't know, I swear I didn't know. Didn't know? Richard's foot connected with her side. I taught you better, getting pregnant and married while still Meridiary worse than animals. He turned to me, slapping his own face repeatedly. David, our family has failed you. I grabbed his hands. Stop, this isn't your fault. I placed the divorce papers in front of Emma. There's nothing left to say. Let's end this. Emma's tears flowed freely now, afraid to look at me. David, you really want to divorce me? After chasing me for so long, you're giving up that easily? She knew how hard I'd pursued her, yet she'd still trampled on my love. Taking my silence for hesitation, she grabbed my hands. I know I was wrong, please, just this once, forgive me. Never. I pulled away. Isn't this what you wanted, to be with Ryan? You're carrying his child, what forgiveness could there be? My phone buzzed, the investigator's report. I threw the phone at Emma. Look for yourself. As suspected, Ryan's mother never had cancer. It was all a lie. Emma read with shaking hands, her face growing darker with each word until she screamed, Ryan Mitchell, you lying bastard. I played a video the investigator had found Ryan and his mother planning their con. We finally fooled that stupid pig Emma. She's an only child with money and property. Work harder, son, break up their marriage. Don't worry, Mom. David's mother is already dead thanks to Emma. He'll never forgive her. After the divorce, I'll swoop in. Her condo will be ours soon enough. Emma collapsed, covering her ears, sobbing. Richard and Victoria listened in horror. This is the man you destroyed David for? Richard's voice shook. He's right, you're dumber than a pig. Victoria tried to comfort her. Stop crying, dear, now you know his true face. Get an abortion, make things right with David. But Emma had snapped, her face twisted with rage as she bolted from the room. David, come quick. Richard pleaded. I'm afraid she'll do something stupid. I knew exactly where she was going. Ryan's apartment. We arrived to a scene from a nightmare. Blood everywhere, Emma wielding a kitchen knife, slashing wildly at Ryan and his mother. They were both covered in wounds. Ryan grabbed the blade, kicking Emma's stomach hard, slamming her against the wall. You crazy bitch, die. He raised the knife just as police burst through the door. We stood frozen in shock. Victoria ran to Emma, who clutched her stomach, blood everywhere. Ryan's, or hers, I couldn't tell. I'll kill you, Ryan, kill you, she screamed. As paramedics lifted her onto the stretcher, she grabbed my hand. David, I never meant to hurt you or kill Mom. I'm so sorry. I know you'll never forgive me, but I need to say I betrayed your love. If there's a next life, I'll make it right. Her hand went limp, even as life faded, her tears didn't stop. Victoria fainted from grief. Ryan and his mother, having lost too much blood, lay unconscious, dead or alive, I didn't know or care. At the hospital, Emma flatlined during surgery, time of death, 11:47 p.m. Victoria woke only to faint again. Richard aged 10 years in one night. Ryan and his mother died from their wounds, karma, perhaps. I helped. Richard with Emma's funeral, the arrogant woman who'd slapped me at Mom's funeral now moved like a ghost, broken and silent. After everything was settled, I quit my job, sold the condo, and left Chicago. I'm only 30, but there's still life ahead. Time to start over. 10 years later, I received a letter that changed everything. Want to know what Emma had hidden all along? Subscribe for the final chapter.